Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Welcome back to another Planty video. I just had to move my chair around to random spots in my house because the sun is kind of in and out of the clouds today and it makes the lighting crazy in my house, as we know by now. But here we are, and I actually am super happy with this spot because you can see the tree. I have the counter to set my tea on. I also have all these seedling trays sitting here because my Anthurium bakri has birthed. Actually, she's in labor right now and I'll be delivering the berries later on today. So very exciting planty times around here. Today is a really exciting video because I'm going to be showing you my top 10 favorite plants for the whole year of 2023. The ultimate, like, all-time favorites, plants that have either done exceptionally well or have just brought me the most joy of my collection. I thought it was going to be really hard to choose, but it actually came to me pretty intuitively. I just walked through my collection and I was like, yep. Like, I just knew immediately which ones have been my favorites this year. Like I said, I'm full swing into end of the year content, so there's still gonna be a couple more like end of the year themed videos to come throughout the month of December. I am so excited for 2024. I can't wait to start a fresh new year and I just have a really good feeling about it. I have been more organized than I have been in a long time in the past few months in preparation. And I'm also just towards the end of this year, I've been challenging myself to learn new things and be more creative, which I've been finding really fulfilling. Something that's really been helping me feel like I'm going into 2024 prepared is Skillshare, and they're kindly sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is so wonderful. They're the largest online learning community and they offer such a wide variety of classes. They have more practical topics like productivity, marketing, and cooking, and then more creative or artsy topics like illustration, photography, music, and social media. I've used Skillshare a lot in the past for things like time management and productivity, but lately I have felt so pulled towards creative hobbies and I really want to try my hand at crochet. I've been wanting to try it for years and I finally am diving into it. I knew that Skillshare would have my back, so I picked out a beginner-friendly class from the many options that were available, and then I went to gather my very first crochet supplies. I was able to complete my first official project, which is these adorable little crochet hearts. This is my first attempt and this is my second attempt and I already improved so much. The class was so clear and easy to follow, and that's something that I love about Skillshare. It's always broken down into really just digestible lessons. Learning something new or sharpening skills that you already have is the perfect way to enter into the new year. I always look forward to my time on Skillshare. I already have my next couple of classes lined up. Next year, one of my goals is to explore and learn Notion to help me stay more organized. So the next course that I'm going to take on Skillshare is called Notion for YouTube Creators. Easily manage your creative projects. Whether you also want to get more organized for 2024, learn for fun, or maybe even launch a side hustle in 2024, I think that Skillshare is the perfect place to start. If this sounds up your alley, I invite you to join me on Skillshare. The first 500 people who click the link down below in my description box will get a 1-month free trial on Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for partnering with me on today's video. Now let's get into my top favorite plants of 2023. Okay, these are in no particular order. I thought about ranking them, but it's just too hard. I love all of these plants so much and they've just made me so happy this year. So I'm just gonna start off with the first one, which is my incredible Bonia thstoni. I am so happy with and proud of how much this plant has grown this year and how resilient it's been living in multiple different locations. Like, it's lived in multiple different homes, it's lived inside and outside and just all over the place, and it's just so easygoing and beautiful. I love the dark foliage, and this thing grows like a beast, y'all. I saw somebody call this the pothos of the begonia world a while ago, and I couldn't agree with that more. Like, it's so easygoing. If you want to start with the begonia, an easy one, I highly recommend this one. Like, she's massive. I can't even get the whole thing in the frame, but just trust me. And I actually just pruned her the other day. You can see, oh, it's really heavy too. That's in a ceramic pot, but you can see at the tops here, I cut off the branches because I just have to do that or else she's gonna get too tall and she's not gonna be bushy. So I do that probably every few months, and I just did it a couple of weeks ago, but you can see, you know, she already has so many new leaves that are starting to form at like almost every junction, honestly. Like, she is just incredible, so easy to propagate, gorgeous dark foliage, and super shiny as well. I love the texture or the finish of the leaf because it's just so incredibly shiny. And apparently there's a form of this plant that is, sorry I keep moving so much, it's just heavy and hard to hold. But there's a form of this plant that is hairy, which normally I love hairy plants, but I actually prefer the shiny look of this one. I just think it's so beautiful how glossy the new leaves come in. It's just so pretty, especially after you shower it and, you know, clean the leaves off. It just looks amazing. Near the beginning of the year, I actually almost completely chopped this plant back too. Like, it was so much smaller than it is right now. So she has just done the most this year, and I couldn't be happier with her. It honestly, I have this one right beside my bed with a fancy grow light, like a clip-on light that I just clip to the top of the trellis. But yeah, it just makes me happy every time I look at her. She looks so cute next to all my books and everything. So yeah, she truly just makes me happy every single day, and doesn't cause me any trouble either. Never had a pest, never had anything go on with her. So yeah, I just love her so, so much. Whew, it's a wrong day to wear the sweater. It is 24 degrees in here right now, so I definitely chose the wrong day to wear a sweater. So I'm gonna go change into a t-shirt right now. I thought I could handle it, but I can't. Okay, that's so much better. I'm gonna grab our second plant, which is actually hanging on the wall right here. And that is my beautiful Monstera escaleto. Look at how incredible she is looking these days. Oh my goodness. I just love her so, so much. I actually haven't even had this plant for a full year. I really wanted it at the beginning of the year. It was on my wish list, and towards the spring, Charmaine was kind enough to send me a cutting. So this is actually like a baby from her plant, which is so, so cool. And yeah, I just really wanted a climbing holy Monstera like this. I was really torn of whether I should grow my Monstera adansonii trailing or climbing. The adansonii is one of my all-time favorite plants. But then I thought, you know, I can grow the adansonii trailing. It looks beautiful as like a nice bushy full pot. And then I can grow the escaleto climbing, and I'll get these massive, beautiful holy leaves. So yeah, that is what I did. And I'm very happy with that plan so far, because now I get to enjoy a beautiful trailing adansonii and a climbing Monstera escaleto. So I'm just so glad that I got this one, and it's been doing so, so well for me. It's been super, super easy going. It did take a minute to settle in and really get growing for me, but once it did, it's just not stopping. Like pretty much as soon as a leaf comes in and starts to harden off, it will be working on another one. So this one is still very soft. It's brand new and still expanding and everything, but I'm sure that it's gonna be popping out the first signs of a new leaf pretty quick, because it's a super fast growing plant in my experience. And I love the way that I have it on my Rousseau pole mount, because I have it hanging on my wall from this little loop here, and it just looks so pretty, especially when the sun comes in and it casts like a really cool shadow on the wall. I just love it so much. It needs to be extended though, so I think I'm going to be taking it off of the wall soon because it's outgrowing that spot already. But yeah, it's just such a gorgeous plant, and yeah, definitely one of my all-time favorites. Okay, I have another heavy one here. I was actually gonna water this morning, and I'm glad that I waited to do it later because it would have been way heavier than this. But as you can see, this is my beautiful Monstera dye constellation, and I cannot believe that I have this plant. Like I mean, I've had it for a long time, if y'all know. If you've been a viewer of this channel, if you're new, hi, hello, this is my Monstera dye constellation that I've had for like over 4 years, and it's rotted on me like 5 or 6 times. We have been on a journey. I have a whole playlist, but most of us here are familiar with her and all of the stress that she's put me through. But was it not all worth it? Like, you can't tell me it wasn't worth it, because are you kidding me? She is so, so stunning. This plant, it's honestly probably my favorite in the whole house. Like if I had to get rid of all my plants and just keep one, I would probably keep this one. That's how much I enjoy having it, and just, oh, it just looks so beautiful. Like where it's sitting in the living room, and the pink pot, it's just so gorgeous. Even the stand, let me go show you the stand actually. Actually, it's gonna be hard to pick up from there. Let me put it here. This is a handmade stand that the pot sits in, and this is actually made out of upcycled skateboards, which is really cool. Random fact about the stand that I use for my Thai constellation, but it just fits the pink pot perfectly, and the colors are so complementary, and just the whole setup that this plant is in right now just really does it for me. But yeah, I cannot even stress enough just how much I love this plant and how deeply fulfilled I am by growing it and just admiring its incredible foliage every day. Like, it cannot be beat. I'm sorry, but it cannot be beat. I actually had a video get pretty popular where it was like this or that, comparing kind of similar plants and saying my opinion of which one I like better. And in that video, I compared the Thai constellation and the albo, and I'm pretty sure that I picked the albo. I feel like I remember picking the albo and being like, oh, it's just so much easier to grow, da 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 da. But honestly, the Thai constellation, like now that mine is growing, I like this one like 100 times more. Even just how compact the stems are, like you don't necessarily need to pull your Thai. I mean, eventually it's probably gonna need support because it's gonna get really big, but it doesn't vine in the same way that the albo does, and I really appreciate that about it. Like, I love the growing pattern. Also, while we're turning her around, you see that new leaf coming in? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see it. I am so excited about that. But yeah, I can't tell you how much joy this brings me, and to my boyfriend as well. Like, he really likes this plant, and we'll both just admire it when we're sitting in the living room. So yeah, it brings joy to the whole household. Okay, I just put the Thai constellation back, but look at Cadence. Oh my gosh. I had to show you because she's just looking so... Girl, you're cozy. All right. Okay, next I finally have one that's a little bit more manageable to hold and show you, which is nice. And it is my beautiful Syngonium albo. This plant also went on a bit of a journey today. I used to have it climbing up a trellis, and then I decided to cut it. Well, I kind of had to cut it because it was reverting. It was just turning all white. So I decided to chop it up into single nodes and then root all the cuttings and then pot them all together to create just like a bushy pot. And I love this so much. That was honestly one of the best planty decisions that I made all year, because having this bushy pot is just so much more pleasing, and yeah, just more like aesthetically pleasing, easier to take care of. I just like it so much more than when I had this trellised or climbing. I actually recently took some cuttings of it as well that I have rooting in water right now, because this is a plant that I'm going to be trimming back as soon as it gets... Oh my gosh, one of the cuttings fell out. Oh no, and it has so much white. It's probably not going to root now. It's all floppy. I didn't realize that had fallen out. Shoot. Send good vibes. I just put it back in the water, but I think it's been out for a few days. Maybe only one day though, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, best decision ever to cut this back, and it's gonna be one that I continue to trim. Like, I can even cut this, I can take more cuttings from this. Like, you can see here where it starts to vine, and I can see a node where I can just cut this and it's gonna root from here, and it'll just push out new growth anyways. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be continuing to like prune this back and pot the cuttings into the pot just to keep growing a nice bushy planter. And I just think that it looks so, so beautiful. Like, she is gorgeous. I honestly didn't expect this plant to end up on my 2023 top 10 favorites, because I've had it for so long, and it's just, I don't know, it's not basic. And I don't care like if plants are basic. A lot of my all-time favorite plants are just like basic plants that you can buy at the big box store. But it's just not novel to me, I suppose. So I wasn't expecting to re-fall in love with it this year, I guess is what I'm getting at, but I sure did. And yeah, I appreciate it all the time. All of the leaves have different variegation on them. It's just so, so pretty. So yeah, I love her so much. She always has so many new leaves coming in at once as well, which is another fun thing about having just so many separate cuttings potted together. But yeah, Syngonium albo, I love her. She actually looks a little bit crazy. Like, I definitely need to go in and just trim her back again. Okay, my next one is just behind me here, so let me grab her. I guess I'm just gonna scoot her forward a bit, because I'm not really gonna be able to, well, maybe I can hold on to her. Okay, I'll hold on to her. Oh my, she needs to be watered. She is like light as a feather right now. But I had to include my my Philodendron Majestic in this video because this plant has brought me so much joy this year. I truly fell in love with this plant in like the fall of 2022 and had such a wonderful time growing her out during 2023. She has taken a bit of a hit. She's not looking as good. She definitely looks pretty beat up. I kind of stopped keeping up with the moss pole, and yeah, I don't know. She definitely got neglected a bit after the move. She's very, very tall though. Like, this is for sure the tallest philodendron I've ever grown out, but you can see the leaves are pretty small up there. So I think I'm gonna chop her back soon. I wasn't gonna, but I just feel like I should because she's getting pretty darn tall. She's like 7 feet tall right now. So I think that that would be a good idea. But the Philodendron Majestic, it's a hybrid of the Varicosum and the Soderoy, if you're not familiar with it. And it's so beautiful because it gets traits from both of them. It has the beautiful like red backs, and then it also gets some silver splashing from the Soderoy. And it honestly looks like camel pattern or something. Like, it's just really, really pretty. And when the sun hits the leaf, the silver is so sparkly and shimmery, and it's just, oh my goodness, it is so, so beautiful. So yeah, I love her. I've always loved her. Some people don't like the Majestic, and I don't know, I just don't really get it because I think that it's so beautiful and she's so easy to grow and just like underappreciated in my opinion. But she is one of my all-time favorite philodendron, and she always will be, which is why I feel like I need to start her over, clean her up, you know, just kind of take better care of her. Because like, look down here, like, I don't know if this is just from underwatering, like the yellow edges and stuff. I mean, I know old leaves aren't gonna live forever, but she is looking pretty beat up. So maybe that's just also another sign that I should cut her back, because it is true that plants, the leaves won't live forever. Like, she'll slowly lose the bottom leaves and then she'll just continue to grow from the top. Anyways, I'm super proud of her. Like I said, this is the tallest philodendron I've ever grown, so that in itself is pretty cool. And that's something that I'm able to do now, is to grow them taller, because I have higher ceilings here and higher windows here and everything, which is really nice. So we'll see what 2024 brings for her, but I'm probably gonna be starting her over. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I should grow this plant. Also, I ordered some, what's it called, like coated wire mesh, so that I can make some moss poles for my bigger plants like this, because I just felt like the thick blade just really wasn't cutting it, and that kind of led to some of my neglect because it was just getting so flimsy and frustrating to move, and yeah, it kind of annoyed me. So I'm trying to find a solution for some of my like larger philodendron mostly. But I've been saying I was gonna order that mesh forever, and I never did, but I finally did, and I think it's coming next week. I think it's coming right before Christmas, so I feel like I'm gonna be spending some of my Christmas break making moss poles. Okay, next I have another plant that's on the plastic thickly pole, but I actually have this one mounted or like strapped onto the Rousseau pole mount, so it keeps it really stable and straight and everything, which just, it makes it a million times better to have these plastic poles. But this next plant on my list, oh my goodness, I love it so much, and I just recently extended the pole too, like, I don't know, a week or two ago, and she's just looking so, so good. This is my Epipremnum no ID. Yeah, I don't know, I don't have an official name or ID for this one, but I suspect, and I have had comments of people suspecting, that is some form of Cebu blue. It looks really it looks really similar to Cebu blue, and apparently there's different forms. There's like a Thai form, and I don't really know, but I know that it is so, so beautiful. The leaves are really wide, and they size up really quickly, and they fenestrate really quickly. So it's just been such an incredible plant to grow. You can see down here they were pretty small, and then it actually took a minute to settle in. For some reason I thought all the cuttings were gonna die because they were kind of like droopy. But eventually it just started growing and growing, and then I started getting these tiny little like pinprick fenestrations, and then I started getting split fenestrations, which is so exciting. Look at that. So beautiful, like the color, everything about these leaves makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm really, really thankful to have this plant. Like, look at her. Are you kidding me? That is so, so gorgeous. So you can see this is the newest leaf. Oh my goodness, sorry. I'm just like trying to keep it stable here. But this is the newest. Let me put it on the floor. That'll be easiest. It's turned towards the window, but this is the newest leaf, and you can see it's still really like shiny and floppy because it's still hardening off. And I already see that it's rooting into, oh my gosh, yeah, there's a big, thick, chunky root there. It's already rooting into the moss. And I already have a new leaf that's come out here. So it's a super, super fast grower. I don't even think that this was really climbing at the beginning of the year. So it's done this all just this year, I'm pretty sure, which is really phenomenal. And this just lives in regular room conditions. And it gets light both from a window and kind of like a little bit of light from a grow light as well. I mean, it does get some light from a grow light. I'll just leave her here for the rest of the video because she's so pretty. I need to extend this again already. I just extended that like a week or two ago. Okay, we have a big one next. Okay, next, this gal is gonna come as absolutely no surprise. This is my Hoya Linearis. And this is, again, one of my, I mean, these are all obviously top favorites from my collection, but actually, it would be kind of tough to choose between this one and the Monera High Constellation if I could only keep one plant in my home. I'd probably go with the, oh, I don't know, it's so hard to choose. Honestly, they're both in my top 3, I would say, of like all-time plants. High Constellation, Hoya Linearis, and I don't know what the third one would be. I'd have to think about it, but that's just how much I love this plant. And if you're a regular viewer, then you would know that the past couple of years, I've really been trying to fill out and just grow this Hoya Linearis to be much bigger than it was. And it's been working. She's massive. She's super long. I actually separated some of her out into the UFO planter that I have. So she was even thicker before. But yeah, I took out quite a few strands. So she's not as thick as she was, but she's still very, very, very long, as you can see. Like I said, I've just really invested a lot of time and energy into growing this plant and, you know, nurturing it. And it's paid off because I'm so, so happy with how it's looking and just the energy that it brings to my home. It looks so immaculate, just cascading down from the second window, and it makes me happy all the time. I've said it before, but this is my top favorite Hoya, and the only thing that I haven't gotten from it yet is blooms. And I actually did get some peduncles just this fall, which I was pretty stoked about because I've never had peduncles on this plant before. And I don't get excited when I see a peduncle on a plant. Oh my gosh, I don't know where it is now. I don't get excited when I see a peduncle on a plant because I feel like I get peduncles on my Hoyas all the time. And most of the time they don't bloom, like the peduncles just hang out. So when I see one just come in, I'm like, okay, that's whatever. But at least it tells me that she's maybe getting closer. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I did get excited when I saw them on her. I'm trying to find it. What the heck happened here now? I know it was on one of these shorter ones. Oh, I think it's here. There is multiple of them, but they're so hard to find. Like, hello? Okay, I honestly have no idea where it is. I feel like I showed it in my last update walkthrough video. I'm not sure, but yeah. Hoya Linearis, she is my baby, and I'm just gonna be continuing chop. Oh my gosh, is that one? There is one right there. Here's an example of one. At the very bottom between those two leaves, do you see that? It's just a little tiny peduncle. I honestly don't think they're gonna be doing anything because they've been looking like that for like a long time, like probably a couple, well, yeah, like 6 weeks at least. I feel like they've been looking like that and they haven't really changed. But it still excites me to see them on there and to see multiple of them on there. That's really cool. Anyways, I was just saying that I'm just gonna continue to be chopping and propping this, I think, and just continue to fill it out because I have a lot of room to kind of make a full lush plant again. Because like I said, I took out a bunch of this plant earlier this year, or not even that earlier, like a couple of months ago for my spooky repot. But yeah, Hoya Linearis. This is it, y'all. This is the third plant that I would keep. If I could only choose 3, my top 3 plants, I think it would go Monera High Constellation, Hoya Linearis, and then this one, my variegated Thanksgiving cactus. Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with this plant. It is so incredibly beautiful. This was at the top of my wish list for years. I finally got one last year in the fall of 2022. I got a small one, and then I also got two other, I guess I got three small ones, and then I eventually potted them all together, and now that's what forms this plant. But yeah, this plant honestly takes my breath away. Like, it is just so beautiful. The variegation is stunning. It has so many just like all white pieces on it, and I don't know like if they're gonna stay or what, but they have been on here for a long time. Look at this like half moon one. Like, oh my goodness, it is just so cool. Like, this plant truly amazes me. She's really taken off this year and just brought me so much joy, which is why she's on this list. And I feel like all my plants that are just like my top favorites are gonna be on this list. I guess unless like they have a bad year or something, but I do actually have a bit of a sad update for her. I don't know if you can notice because I haven't shown it super close yet. But first of all, I recently repotted her. So she's now in this nice plastic pot, which I think she's really gonna like because she is a thirsty girl, and she was in terracotta before, which I just don't think was great. I mean, she did fine, but I really had to be on top of watering. She would dry out so quickly. Like, I could water her every 2 days type of thing. So I've repotted her into plastic. And the reason that I repotted her is because the other day my philodendron tortum came crashing down and landed on this, took this one down with it. She fell to the ground, her pot shattered, or no, her pot didn't shatter that time. I picked both of the plants up, there was no damage to either of them, and then I just left them like that, and this is the fatal mistake that I make. I just don't address an issue. Like, obviously the tortum was unstable. I just put it back and pushed it out of my mind, and I was like, it'll be fine. It was not fine, because the next day the tortum came down again, took this plant with it again, and that is when the pot shattered and both the tortum and this plant got damaged. So that was 100% my fault. Like, I should have they both needed to be repotted. That's why it was falling over. So they are now both repotted, but it took that plant falling down twice for me to do it. So this plant is now damaged. I haven't cut this off yet because I wanted to show this plant in the video, and I'm gonna need to cut like half of it off. But it's like severed here, and this is really sad because it's the one with a bloom. There's one single bud on this plant, and of course it was one of the ones that got broken off, so that really sucks. I'm probably just gonna cut the bud off and try to root these cuttings, but I'm pretty sad about it, honestly. Like, I don't get sad about all my plants when something happens to them, but this one I was kind of sad. And there's another one that's broken too right here. The same, like a different part of the same kind of arm. It's broken off here. I'm gonna have to cut it off and try to root those ones as well. So that kind of sucks, but on the bright side, I have the chance to hopefully root more cuttings, and then I can pot them back in here and create an even more full plant, because that's gonna be my long-term goal anyways, but I just didn't really want it to happen that way. And now these are like thirsty, and I don't really know if they're gonna root, but I'm gonna try anyways. I thought maybe it would still get some water if I left, because this like main like vein thing is still attached. That's how it's hanging on. So I thought maybe it would get some water, but it still feels floppy, so I don't know. Anyways, I love her so much. Wish her luck on her propagation journey. And yeah, hopefully she'll be, hopefully she'll just continue to grow and get nice and lush for us and give lots of blooms. Okay, next we have an alocasia. And as you can see, it is my Aloca Jacen. She's getting so big that it's kind of hard to show her in videos now, because look, if I just hold her, like, she's massive. Like, what the heck? How did she get this big? It's actually kind of crazy. At the beginning of the year, she was a small plant. Like, she did not have big leaves like this, so she's really had a growth spurt this year. And whenever I'm talking about this plant, I always say that this is an alocasia that sizes up really quickly and really easily. So if you're looking for that, then I highly recommend this one. And also it just has the most incredible unique leaves. I don't have anything else like this in my collection. It has a velcro-y texture. It's covered in little hairs, and obviously has like stunning veins, a stunning shape. The back of it is really pretty as well. Very easygoing. I've repotted mine a couple of times this year already. I just repotted this like a week or two ago, less than 2 weeks I think. Yeah, literally like a week ago, and I can already see roots on the outside here. So yeah, she just grows like freaking crazy. Yeah, she's been a really easygoing alocasia for me. It's such a statement plant. I get so excited when I see a new leaf coming in. And yeah, I'm just so impressed with just how she's grown for me. Like, it's honestly just such an incredible alocasia. I couldn't recommend it more. Also has the stunning patterned petioles. Like, how cool is that? It just adds an extra element to it. So yeah, I love her so much and had to include her in my top 10. She's had just an amazing year. Okay, and lastly, for the number 10 spot, I have kind of a group of plants to share with you. This discovering or like getting more into this genus has truly brought me so much joy, and it's something that I really want to learn about and get into more. I'd love to get more varieties and find unique ways to pot them up and stuff. So let me show you. Of course, I'm talking about Pinguiculas or butterworts. These look like succulents, but they're actually carnivorous plants, and they have sticky leaves that catch, you know, gnats and small insects. And I just think that they are so cool and unique. There's so many different varieties, and one of my absolute favorite things about them is that they flower. They put out the cutest little flowers I've ever seen in my life. This is my Pinguicula morinensis, which is the very first one that I got, and kind of was like my gateway Pinguicula, because after that I was just like, I need more of these. Like, once I grew this for a little while and saw how well it did for me, but it flowered twice for me. This is like the dead little flower thing. Gets sun stressed in the spring and summer. It's so pretty. And then I have, these are a couple of new ones that I got in June. This is Pinguicula cyclosecta, which is a purple one. It is so cool. And Pinguicula Wesser, I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but that's how I've been saying it. And this one turns really pink in the summer. And yeah, they both settled in super easily for me. I just grow them in sphagnum moss. And I always keep a reservoir, a water reservoir for my Pinguicula. I need to do more research because apparently some of them have a succulent phase and don't like to have water constantly in the winter. But so far that's just what I've been doing for mine, and I don't know, they seem happy. And then this little tray actually has some that are potted in, I think, like a soil mix, which I've just left them in. They came to me like that. They came from a friend and I just left them in that. This is another cyclosecta. This is Pinguicula agnata. Has more narrow leaves, which is really cool because this is different than the other ones that I have. And then this was labeled agnata, I think, but I think it might be a morinensis again. I'm not sure. It just looks so different than the agnata. And then I've been really excited to show you an update on my Pinguicula hanka that I got from Crystal Star Nursery. I just hauled this not even that long ago, like a few weeks ago, and it didn't look the best after shipping because a lot of the times Pinguicula, at least in my experience, I've had them shipped to me 3 times now, or 4 times now, and they haven't looked good on arrival any of those times, and they always bounce back. So don't be concerned if you order one and it doesn't look great when it arrives. Yeah, this literally looks like 100 times better than it did when it arrived. It's doing so well. It looks so healthy, so I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I just love them. They bring me so much joy. I think they're so fun. I can't wait to collect more. I really want a big size one. Like, some of them are like really large and I want one like that. Hopefully I get more flowers on them in the new year. That brings me to the end of my top 10 favorite plants for 2023. I hope that you enjoyed. Once again, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click the link down below. The first 500 people will get a 1-month free trial for Skillshare. We can all get inspired for the new year together. That is everything I have for you. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I would love to chat with you, and thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye.
Try